It actually just occurred to me that Christmas is less than a week from now. And it's so crazy. Between the absurdly spring-like weather we've been having, and not to mention just like everything going on and how busy I've been, I can't believe we're already almost at the end of the year. So we're like, is it 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 13 days. 13 days until 2025 is over. That's insane. That's ridiculous. How do you fathom any of that? But you know what? While this year's had some good and some not so good, it definitely wasn't boring. But I'll talk more. I just needed to bring that up because it just occurred to me as I was about to press record. Anyway, apologies for how late this video is today. It's 12:16 in the afternoon as I'm recording. Normally I'm definitely earlier, especially this week I've been earlier, but there was an important thing I had to do this morning and I got it done. So now that you all have my undivided attention, let's get to my low and high act of kindness. Happy Friday, everyone. Holy cow, oh no, sorry. I was about to say, holy cow, it's the last Friday of 2020. No, it's not. Next Friday will be the last Friday of 2025. Okay. But man, that, again, went by fast. Okay, so, anyway, low and high act of kindness. So, what is my low, actually? You know what? I guess my low is I do feel kind of bad. It took me until just now to get things started. I apologize for that, and I hope to do better. My high is... Oh, actually, you know what? Also, I got yesterday's NFL game wrong. I said the Rams would win and the Seahawks won. So, if I can hold it correctly, 0-1 going into this weekend. So I will quickly save that. And my act of kindness was, call mom. Oh, actually, all right. Darn it, did I even say what my high was yet? I'm sorry, I'm also really tired, so bear with me if it appears I'm unable to think straight. But yes, my high was, the Hot Ones Holiday Extravaganza, which, you saw the title of this video. You know I had to talk about it. Oh, right, let me get to my act of kindness before I do anything else. Actually, what is my act of kindness? Actually, I did hold the door for some people this morning for the thing that I had to do, so I did that. So, let's get into right. Again, as I was about to say, this was the final episode of Hot Ones we're getting in 2025. That's it, man. Not only is season 28 over, but this year is honestly, the final episode of Hot Ones is a pretty good indicator of this year is just about over. I did kind of notice that a little bit when a few years ago, I think Tom Holland was the season finale of that particular season. And then there's just like a winter break, and then, we get, the Hot Ones hot sauce lineup in January, and then we get, maybe the first episode was in January. Now, I'm getting ahead of myself. I mean, I need to talk about the Holiday Extravaganza, which, first of all, major shout out to First Week Feast and Hot Ones. Not just for not just for a great year, not just for, a great holiday extravaganza, but also the fact that every year they do this holiday extravaganza, they partner with a charity, and in this case, they partnered with the IRC, I think is what they partnered with. International Rescue Committee, I think is what they're called. Probably got that wrong. If I got that wrong, I apologize. But again, like, the fact that they always take the time to partner with a charity at this time of year, like, it shows that people could, famous people could, be good and, do good things, but actually, help out with charities and stuff, that's a sign of people who really care. So, to the folks over First Week Feast and Hot Ones, you don't not that you need any more praise from me, but shout out to you guys. You guys rock. You guys probably already knew that, but again, a little validation from some average Joe such as myself wouldn't hurt nobody. Now, actually, let me just look at one more thing, because this is the 5th Hot Ones Holiday Extravaganza. And so, okay, so this is right. Okay. Because if you remember in yesterday's video, I had mentioned that, because this is the 5th one. And, the first one they had was Gordon Ramsay. The second one was, if I could actually please scroll, thank you. Hold on, what the? Right, Ken was last year. Okay, so the first was Gordon Ramsay, the second one was Will Ferrell, third was Steve-O, fourth was Ken Jeong, yesterday was Kristen Bell. That's what it was. Okay. Holy cow, I can't believe I was having, because I'm trying to look at the dates, so okay, that's what it was. So, with that said, with the exception of Steve-O, is for the life of me, I can't really imagine what holiday-related thing Steve-O was promoting. Normally, there's some sort of holiday significance with the Hot Ones guests that they have for the Holiday Extravaganza. For example, Gordon Ramsay, one of his most famous cooking videos is the fact that he would make a beef Wellington for Christmas. I believe he also did a goose recipe, I think. I could be wrong. A couple years ago, Will Ferrell. He's Buddy the Elf. Of course that's holiday related. And even with Ken Jeong last year, The Masked Singer was approaching the season finale, and a few days after the finale, it was Christmas. So yeah, Ken Jeong was mostly promoting The Masked Singer, but this is a very special case because, for starters, Kristen Bell is the first woman guest that we've had for the Holiday Extravaganza. Very nice. Making her second appearance on the show, as she was on a few years ago. But more importantly, and I don't think I could have even stressed this enough yesterday, she is the voice of Anna from Frozen. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, the episode, okay, I'm pretty sure everyone who knows this already knows that Kristen Bell, pretty much a badass. We know that. But everyone also knows just how, nice she is. Seriously, throughout taking on the wings of death, she's taking it head on. And not only is she not flinching, she's practically smiling through it all. But, and she's taking the time to talk about how gracious of a host Sean is, which, listen, not that you guys need to hear from me, but Sean Evans is the best cornerman of the game. No question. So, no worries about that. It's a holiday extravaganza, so obviously Sean asked, when did life imitate art when decorating for Christmas? And then Kristen Bell told a story about her husband Dax Shepard, and her kids were stuck in Boston, and they run into family friends who, stayed in the attic of their family friends, and they went hiking in this area outside of Boston, stuff like that. That was really cool. She talked about how she fell in love with acting and fell in love with performing via the camaraderie. Because listen, as nervous as some people get, and I can speak from this from experience, because I did shows and stuff. As nervous as everybody is for putting on a good show or performing well, at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. We want to do a good job and impress as many people as we can when we perform. And in that regard, everyone who performs or as part of a production, that's that's how you're able to understand one another, if that makes sense. That's something you have in common. You can build a foundation of, camaraderie and friendship off of stuff like that. That's really cool. I mentioned she was Anna from Frozen, and so, okay, here's the thing. Sean has never asked what people would consider a dumb question, but I did find it a little perplexing when he asked if Kristen Bell gets enough credit for being the voice of Anna from Frozen. Which, listen, she gets, the short answer is yes. She does feel that she gets a lot of credit, but Kristen Bell, being as awesome as she is, also takes the time to talk about, it's not just, the actors, it's not just her, it's not just Idina Menzel, it's not Josh Groff, it's not, Josh Gad, Chris Groff, it's a whole multitude of people behind that movie, specifically, the animators, the production people, the editors, and Kristen Bell takes the time to give shout outs to those people as well. Dude, what? Does she need to do that? No. But she gets to do that. Which brings us to the next question Sean asked, which was, because, she was on The Good Place, and obviously there's some existential questions that Sean wanted to run by her. Or philosophical dilemmas is what Sean used. So, would you rather lie to, say, to not hurt the feelings of other people, or tell the truth? Stuff like that. And I'm not going to give away the answer, partly because I forgot to write it down, but also, it's that sort of thing where you do gotta think about that for a second, don't you? Because, believe me, there have been times where, I've had to tell a white lie, so not hurt anyone else's feelings. and when telling the truth would have been the better idea. And there have been times where I have been honest and have told the truth when honestly telling a white lie probably would have been a good idea. I mean, obviously it's in the name white lie. I mean, yes, it's a lie, but you know, the white indicates it's not so bad. Right. So, and then you know, she talked about how, you know, there are times where, life can be busy, it can be hard, and sometimes she feels stressed as well, like when she has to take her kids to school. All she does is reword what she says. And so instead of saying, I have to take the kids to school, she says, I get to take the kids to school. And believe me, that's going to play a very big part in, well, technically it did play a big part in some videos I did a few days ago, but also some videos I'm doing tomorrow on Sunday, so keep that in mind. She talked about acting choices she makes when reading a script. She talked about memories watched being a Detroit hockey fan. Sean ran by her a bunch of lines from movies that she's been in, which this was when we got to the bomb. And okay, in my experience watching Hot Ones, I've seen, keep in mind, you have people like Jenna Ortega or Halle Berry, queens in their own right, of course. But I've only seen 3 Hot Ones guests legitimately, like, not just devour the bomb, but straight up attack it. There was Conan O'Brien, but let's be real here, it's Conan O'Brien, I don't think he even cared anymore. And Cody Rhodes. Yesterday makes 3. Like Kristen Bell, because the bomb she was using was a flat wing. She like holds the flat wing, like the bones like surrounding her fingers, just like. I mean, come on, man. Like, do we even need to point out how much of a badass Kristen Bell is? Because she is. She absolutely is, and I am not going to argue. And if you say that I'm wrong, I will fight you. Okay, that is awesome. They talked about that when John Barenthal was on, Sean Evans almost choked on a wing, and for the last half, the final Hot Ones wing of 2025, the final Hot Ones question of 2025. Sean asked how you make Buckeye cookies. And funny enough, I know how to make Buckeye cookies. Well, sort of. Only when my mom and I make them, they're completely covered in chocolate. But yeah. I mean, I don't think I really need to say much else. I mean, the final episode of Hot Ones in 2025, you had Kristen Bell. It was awesome, man. Like, this is the sort of thing where if you were feeling kind of depressed around like this time of year due to it being the holiday season, this should be able to reinvigorate you and help you get through the rest of the year. Of course, if you're somebody like me who wasn't feeling that way, you just know this is one more thing to say that, you know what, it made 2025 all the better. So, once again, shout out to Kristen Bell for second time in a row taking on the Wings of Death. That's awesome. Shout out to Sean Evans, Chris Schoenberger, Cameron Guybella, all the folks over at Hot Ones, and all the people at First Week Feast. Thank you for a wonderful 2025. Listen, I'm a fan of you guys. I mean, come on, I've made how many videos talking about Hot Ones and what I thought of each episode. Love the show, love the energy they bring, and I hope, as the E-Rod, aka the Blockbuster Buster, would tell you, may you all have a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a kick-ass Kwanzaa, and a Festivus for the rest of us. So I hope you like this video. If you like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow on social media. As always, I'm very humble in this video for all you guys watching. Joe, for you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Friday. And remember, when you guys want to talk to me, we're here to let me know. Always better take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.